Crna Gora i Indija grade nove veze zahvaljujući najmlađima. U osnovnoj školi Sutjeska u Podgorici bira se najbolji rad na tu temu. Sudije su visoki zvaničnici iz Indije. O detaljima govorimo sa počasnom konzulkom naše zemlje na drugoj strani svijeta, doktorkom Janice Darbari. Good morning, Mrs. Darbari. Welcome.
Dobro jutro.
Dobro jutro, yes. Thank you for being here this morning.
It's my pleasure, my pleasure.
Ja ću se potruditi da prevodim ono što gospođa Darbari kaže. Tell me, how did you choose the best works?
It was very simple because we had a galaxy of diplomats, ambassadors, who are well versed with the world and Montenegro and paintings. So they were the judges.
Stop there, please. Dakle, pitala sam kako su izabrali radove. Kaže da je bilo vrlo jednostavno, da su o tome vodili računa visoki zvaničnici, ambasadori. Here you are.
And we had the 33 schools participated. So each judge was handed over a folder. In that folder, we had different markings for color, theme, composition, slogan, everything. So according to that, they would mark them. And then the final marks, we would choose the best from that particular school.
Dakle, oko 44 ambasadora su odlučivalo o radovima, predstavilo se više od 100 škola i radovi su bili u posebnim folderima. Na kraju je bila krajnja ocjena.
With this type of a theme of Indo-Montenegro, it was educating the children, the schools, the principals, the art teachers, and you know, it's like when I hosted the National Day, July 13th, in the Tagore International School, all the school children were out, which means about 2,000 to 3,000 children all watched from the balconies of the school, and they waved the flags of India, Montenegro.
Dakle, kada je organizovan u Indiji Dan državnosti, proslava Dana državnosti, oko 2 ili 3 hiljade djece je bilo na balkonima, mahali su našim zastavama. To je bila posebna ceremonija.
And we also had an introduction to the school through the website which I had launched. It's called www.montenegroindia-consulate.com.
Na sajtu montenegroindia.council.com predstavlja se naša država, ljepote naše države, istorija, kultura i svi u Indiji mogu da nauče više o našoj zemlji, mada i širom svijeta.
Now, tourism has many subjects. It has eco, it has agriculture, it has medical, it has events, it has wedding destinations. So that theme was very beautifully laid out on the website. So children logged on to the website, their parents logged on to the website, their teachers logged on to the website, the founder members of the schools, because Montenegro as a subject is not taught in the schools. And being very young nation, some of the school books, the textbooks don't have it. So it was a big educational process.
Važno je, dakle, da taj proces edukacije sve kreće od djece, od mališana. Onda oni govore o svojim roditeljima, svojim profesorima. A na sajtu se predstavlja naša zemlja kroz turizam. A turizam kroz različite oblasti, zdravlje, geografija, kultura, naša istorija.
So when the children of India got educated to this theme, and I had hosted 33 schools, so you can imagine each school had, this event was a primary event for them, an international poster competition, which was unique in its way, teaching children art and diplomacy.
Kroz ovo takmičenje koje je jedinstveno, djeca se uče kulturi, ali i diplomatiji.
Now, as it taught them art and diplomacy, the children put their minds as to how would the two twains of beautiful cultures between Montenegro and India meet.
Djeca pokazuju svoje viđenje povezanosti Indije i Crne Gore.
So when you come, I invite everybody, your viewers, to come and have a look at the exhibition, which is being held today in Sutjeska School.
Sutjeska, da.
Sutjeska School. And the principal has been so kind enough to give us a beautiful exhibition space, and the Foreign Ministry has helped in this of Montenegro. And of course, the Foreign Ministry, when it came forward to help in this project which I had launched in India, it was a big compliment and taken as the schools in India, which had now become over 100 schools participating in this event, are very thrilled. And the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Alphonse of State, has sent a message of congratulations to Montenegro and the school and the children and the foreign ministry.
Na ovoj organizaciji i cjelokupnoj ceremoniji čestitaju i ministri turizma, kao što je i ministar Indije. Više od 100 škola je učestvovalo u ovome.
So with this type of a happening taking place between the children to children, it's a heart-to-heart talk between the families, because the child goes back home and talks to the parents that I drew something on Montenegro. The parents are excited. They're all waiting for this particular 43 schools which I have brought here to be judged in Montenegro. Already the rest have been judged in India.
43 je sudija. Ovo je priča djeca djeci. Dakle, dijete djetetu, srce srcu.
Yes, and the families. Because when the child says, Papa, I have drawn something on Montenegro.
Dakle, važno je kada vam dijete dođe i kaže tata, mama, nacrtao sam nešto o nekoj novoj zemlji, nacrtao sam nešto o Crnoj Gori.
And I had given, certificates out to the children. Those
Djeca
who
će
had,
dobiti sertifikate.
the children who had won. And this became itself, every ambassador you can see.
Ovi su ambasadori, a sa njima su i mališani.
The certificate said, thank you for participating in this poster competition.
Na sertifikatu piše hvala na učešću u ovom takmičenju.
And this particular certificate is now on the walls of the homes of every home in Delhi where the child has participated.
A ovo je, naravno, kao što se dešava i kod nas, na zidovima ovo okače ponosni roditelji diplome svojih mališana. Izložba je danas u osnovnoj školi Sutjeska.
So now with the schools also participating in India, in Montenegro, and the best child artists from here, we hope that the tourism ministry sponsors them to come to the mega event in India, which we are planning to hold somewhere in January and February.
Sada se takmiče i naši školarci. Darbari se nada da će najbolji rad, odnosno najbolji autor, poći na mega događaj koji je u januaru ili februaru.
And this particular event will have the best artists of all the schools competing for the final trophy. Let's say that's the flight to Montenegro for all the children.
Finalni trofej. Za finalni trofej će se boriti učesnici iz svih škola koje su uopšte učestvovale. Dakle, dođite u Crnu Goru.
Yes, and all the children are excited. They're saying, oh, we're going to get a chance to see Montenegro, the place we have dreamt of as a painter, what we have put together of the two nations. If you see it, one of the beautiful paintings is of Sveti Stefan, where it's shown as a hand into the sea.
Na jednom radu je Sveti Stefan prikazan kao dlan.
Yes, as a hand. Sveti Stefan is like, a peninsula. And then the reflection of it is the Taj Mahal.
A refleksija je Taj Mahal.
And they put the two nations' flags.
Dakle, to je veza između dvije zastave, veza između dvije zemlje, dvije strane svijeta.
And another child has drawn a painting where they've put this tika, that is what we call in our language. They've made that Indian, and they've shown the woman dreaming of being in Budva or Kotor.
A na drugom radu je žena koja sanja da bude u Budvi i Kotoru sa ovim simbolom tika, ako se ne varam, simbolom Indije.
Yes, and you just have to imagine, how that painting has, it's such a beautiful painting. I can't explain it, you have to come and see it.
Prosto ne može to da se objasni, morate da dođete i vidite. A izložba je danas, ponavljamo, u osnovnoj školi Sutjeska.
And these are all children from the age of 14, 15 and 16.
Autori su djeca od 14, 15 i 16 godina.
And of course, if you have one of the best art schools out here in Montenegro, luckily my sister Raj, she met her at the beauty salon, and she was saying that we have one of the most best schools out here. So maybe the children would love to come here to be educated.
Nada se da će i djeca možda poželjeti da dođu, nešto nauče, jer kako ističe, imamo najbolje škole umjetnosti.
And in fact, the principal of the school of Sutjeska, he has been so kind enough to say that if the children would like to come to Montenegro,
dobrodošlicu je poželio i direktor osnovne škole Sutjeska, koji je rekao da mogu doći.
Yes, these students can be hosted in the homes of the parents. So this type of an exchange, I tell you, it will, as years go on, you have grown a child with the theme, the concept, the love for Montenegro, and two nations, when they really love from heart to heart, the relations are beautiful.
Veze između dvije zemlje su divne. To je veza, ponavljamo, između dva srca. Dakle, vrata su otvorena, želimo im svima dobrodošlicu i ovo je važno da se podstakne i novi projekat, a to je projekat razmjene učenika studenata.
Now, one important thing is out of this whole event, I'm hoping that if we can get all the best artist students together, then we can, if Montenegro has the capacity to open an animation studio and for teaching.
Vidimo fotografije, zanimljive fotografije. Tell me more about these photos.
This is the Consul General's office in India.
Da, ovo su fotografije konzulata u Indiji.
This is my Consul General office in India.
Ovo je njena kancelarija.
And this is of course the
location. Pogledajte ovo, Republika Crna Gora.
And everybody, it's become a showstopper, a fashion stopper.
Ovo je popularno mjesto i za fotografije.
Where I stay there about over 1 lakh families. And so everybody goes on a morning walk and they stop in front of Montenegro, look at it, look at the flag, and they say, wow, Janice, we are going to Montenegro.
Svako ko krene u jutarnju šetnju, prođe ovuda, zastane i kaže, wow, ići ćemo u Crnu Goru.
I've been living, in this area for about 40 years. So you can imagine all my friends, they in fact, just now when I was coming, some people from Jet Airways, the Indian young couples, they made it a point to come. Then we have a number of investors who have come to Montenegro and enjoyed the tax benefits and opened companies. And of course now the Oberoi Hotel.
Darbari kaže da su brojni investitori zainteresovani za našu zemlju, dakle možemo očekivati nova ulaganja. Takođe i parovi koji se odlučuju da možda medeni mjesec provedu u našoj zemlji, što je i cilj sajta Montenegro India Konzul, pomisle da je možda ovo prava destinacija za njih.
And I hope also with the Gandhi Smriti, that is, everybody knows about Mahatma Gandhi and the principles of non-violence.
Kaže da svi znaju za Mahatmu Gandija.
So the khadi gram industry, that is of cloth, which has come out, and of soaps and natural herbs, the toiletries, etc., which can be made. There is a proposal of an NGO which wants to come and operate in Montenegro and establish a global village.
Kaže da bi mogla da se zasnuje saradnja kao jedno globalno selo, da izrada materijala, možda i hrane, krene i u našoj zemlji.
So develop through your natural herbs, which Montenegro has. And this is a reserve we have in Montenegro, which I have talked about in India.
O tome je bilo riječi u Indiji.
And in India also we have traditional medicines made out of herbs called Ayurveda.
U Indiji također se prave neki tradicionalni ljekovi.
In fact, I'm very proud to say there is one Indian already here in Montenegro practicing, and he has been able to cure.
Jedan Indijac je već ovdje istražuje možda liječenje kancera.
Very diseases which the doctors out here are very happy to participate with him in their clinic.
I naši ljekari se raduju saradnji sa njim na našoj klinici.
And in fact, he has discussed with me that your herbs, I mean the herbs in Montenegro, they are very, very rich, and the potency, the power, like in homeopathic medicine, one drop can change your whole system from inside.
Jedna kapljica može da promijeni cjelokupan sistem, dakle i priroda u našoj zemlji dozvoljava dalje istraživanje.
So this doctor was telling me your herbs have that type of power.
Ta jedna kap ima veliku snagu. Tell me, how did you become a consul? Dakle, kako ste postali konsul?
I have been very active as a journalist. I started my career. Interviewed the heads of states like General Zia.
Darbari je bila novinarka godinama.
I've interviewed the Arafat of Palestine and written books on the Commonwealth in Nehru. I wrote
Pisala je knjige, intervjuisala Arafata.
About Indira Gandhi. These are books autographed by her.
Pisala o Indiri Gandhi.
And then I wrote a book on the Northeast about our art, music and culture. So
dalje o istoku, njihovoj kulturi.
Now, being active in this field, I was also the special emissary for the first time in the history of Macedonia as their special emissary to India to help Macedonia get recognized in '94.
Ranije je pomagala Makedoniji da pronađe svoj put, da sarađuje sa Indijom.
And I have this rich experience of Yugoslavia because my father, Professor Shatrugan Darbari, and I think many Yugoslavs from from 1978 would know this name because
Njen otac je poznat bio već u periodu Jugoslavije.
When the trade links had absolutely were at the bottom, he sort of brought the whole thing up and solved all the problems. He would say, ima problema, nema problema.
Ovo vam je već jasno. Ima problema, nema problema. On je sve rješavao.
So all problems have to be solved. And
sve mora da se riješi.
He was loved by the people.
Bio je voljen među ljudima.
So as life goes on,
a kako život ide dalje,
we started our businesses with Yugoslavia.
Razvili su veze, poslovne veze sa Jugoslavijom.
And when the political situation was very sensitive, we helped Serbia and Montenegro together when the sanctions were there. So
a kada je situacija bila prilično osjetljiva, oni su pomogli Srbiji i Crnoj Gori.
And my father was appointed by the then government to help to negotiate that food and all would be supplied. And he did that very successfully, I must say. I'm very
Bio je
proud
vrlo
of him.
uspješan u pregovorima i ona je vrlo ponosna na njega.
And of course, after that happened, then PTNT was signed and we had the Britishers help out. So as we were always ironing out the problems, our family, my brother, my sister, we all get involved because it's an emotional thing with us.
Svi su bili uključeni, dakle na to su ih obavezivala osjećanja.
It's just not looking at a nation for what it is, because the people have been so sweet to us. And
I ljudi su bili divni prema njih. Da, imali su mnogo prijatelja. And now you are here. You're working for Montenegro.
Yes.
Radite za Crnu Goru.
Because, you know, after being the special emissary of Macedonia to India, and I got them recognized, so I went down in the history books of the foreign policy of Macedonia. And as Montenegro had just separated from Serbia, I must compliment the Montenegrin government for having appointed me. I was the first woman for them in the world to open the Consul General office for Montenegro.
Ovo je prva žena iz Indije koja je stupila u neke diplomatske odnose i na tome zahvaljuje našoj vladi.
And being the first Consul General, and that to a woman, in India itself it was such a big talk that Montenegro has appointed a woman, and that too not from the business background herself, because I'm known as a journalist, a writer, a political activist, a social worker. And the
dakle,
whole
sada je
of
u
India.
novom poslu, a ranije je bila poznata kao novinarka, književnica.
So it was a big day for the women of India.
Ovo je velika stvar i za žene u Indiji.
And you see, because typically the Consul General's post was held by a very, very rich businessman. So when Montenegro made this philosophical and beautiful statement in India, all the diplomats, you will not believe it, of all the nations, over 100 countries, they were saying, wow, what a difference it makes to the diplomatic community, because the way you conduct yourself, they were inspired. In fact, Mr. Milan Roshan, the foreign minister, told me that when he went to Jordan, the parliament people told him, you have such an active person in India, we would like to appoint also a Consul General.
Dakle, dobije pohvale od ambasadora širom svijeta, od preko 100 njih, a na to ju je podsjetio i bivši ministar Milan Roćen.
So you can just imagine when you do good work.
Kada radite nešto dobro.
And it gets accepted by the international community.
A to prihvati međunarodna zajednica.
And you have the full backing of the foreign ministry of Montenegro with you.
Dobijete i dobre reakcije nazad.
Your steps can become firmer, your steps can become well accepted in India, and they look upon you as a nation which is stable in thought, mind, and the spirit of the nation is that they support women. So that itself, in every state of India, I mean, when I was doing this thing with the children, every chief minister came forward and said, Janice, we want you to do this with our 100 schools in our state.
Ona dobija čestitke od svih strana, kao što smo rekli, sa svih strana. I to je snažna poruka i za ostale žene, kao i za žene u našoj državi, da prave sigurnije korake, da budu sigurnije u sebe. Thank you a lot for this.
It is my pleasure to be doing something which I think comes from the heart and the love for the nation between both the countries.
Kaže da je njeno zadovoljstvo da radi nešto iz sveg srca za obje zemlje. Thank you a lot.
Hvala ti puno.
Hvala ti puno. Idemo kratko na reklame.